Hi everyone, it's Kerry back with you today. Today I'm going to show you a little tip on another way that you can use your Lindy's magical powders. Now if you're familiar with the magical powders, you'll know that they're a very highly pigmented fine powder that you can mix with water or other mediums to create like a watercolour, or if you're mixing it with pastes or other mediums, you can make your own custom paints and that sort of thing. On this palette here you can see that I have some dried up paints. Now these are actually the Lindy's magical powders that were just mixed with water, and then once I'd finished with the palette I allowed it to dry, and these paints, these dried up pigments, can still be reused, reactivated, by just adding a small amount of water and then making sure that I give them a good mix. Then that watercolour is reactivated and ready for me to go ahead and use. So whilst I love using my powders like this because you're not wasting anything and you can go back and reactivate them whenever you like, I find sometimes I just want to go out and create, and if I haven't got a lot of time, a little watercolour palette like this is really useful. So I'll just pop this to the side. So what I've got here is, it's actually a Ferrero Rocher chocolate box because I got chocolates for Christmas, and they just so happen to fit really nicely in here. These are actually just little 1 ounce or 25 ml sauce cups, and I got these off eBay. They're really inexpensive. Now they do seal quite tightly. I wouldn't say that they are 100% leak proof, but I can turn it upside down and it's not like dripping out of the side or anything like that. The advantage to having something like this is if you want to come out and create and you don't want to have to activate all of your different pigments, these are ready to go. So I'm going to show you how I've made these today. You'll need obviously some sauce cups. They do come in different sizes, so just pick a size that is suitable for your needs. And you'll need some water, and I've got a little pipette here. Now we have tank water where I live, which means our water does not, it just collects from the rain on the roof. So I've boiled this water to make sure that I don't have any bacteria or anything like that in the water. If you don't make sure the water is 100% clean before you use it, you do run the risk of them going mouldy in the cup. So just make sure that your water is clean, or use distilled water or something like that. So you can just add however much water you like and however much pigment you like. The more pigment you add, the more vibrant your colour will be, and the more water you add, the more washed out the colour will be. So you have the option to customise the colour however you like. You could also mix multiple pigments in one pot to create your own custom colour blends. So I've just added a small amount of water in that, and remember, if it's too dark you can still add more water to it. So I would start with a smaller amount of water in your sauce pot, and then you can always add more water or pigment as required. So if you were using the magical shakers, these have 2 flip top lids. One has a very open spout for pouring, and the other one has like a salt and pepper shaker holes. So you would obviously just pour it out with the pour side. If you are worried about tipping too much, you can always just tip it onto a scrap piece of paper till you get the amount that you like, and then pour it into your cup like that. If you're using the magicals from a pot like this one, then I would use a small scoop or spoon, and I've got here, it's actually a clay making texture tool. It's got like a little spatula on the end here, so I can just use it like a little scoop and pop however much pigment I want into there. Now this one is Urban Amethyst, and I've created a digital download that has the names of all of the magical powders, and underneath their headings you'll find the powder. So the Urban Amethyst is from the Neon Graffiti Magical Set. So here I've got the Neon Graffiti Magical Set, and this one here is Urban Amethyst. Now these are 1-inch circles, so if you have a 1-inch circle punch you can just need to cut that down a little bit. You can just use your 1-inch circle punch to punch that out. And then I'm just going to close that lid for a second. So I've got my little name label here. Just going to pop a little bit of glue onto the top of the lid. Pop my circle on, just give that a bit of a squish round so I make sure it's adhered. Pop off that excess glue. And then I can just take a brush, dip into the colour that I've got in my pot and swatch it on top of the label here. Seal up my pot. And then I've got my little watercolour ready to use when I need it. So now I have a little watercolour pot ready for me to use, and because it's sealed with a lid they're not going to dry out anywhere near as quickly as our little paint palette that we had before, this one here. They may still dry out over time because it's not an airtight seal, and depends how long it is between, you know, uses of your magical washes that you've made up. I'll leave a link in the description box below on where you can go to download this file for free so you can make your own little magical colour cups. Now one thing to remember when you're printing out this file is if you're using an inkjet printer, the ink may not be waterproof, so when you're swatching around your little 1-inch circle, you may want to avoid the text and just paint around the edge for your colour swatch. If you're using a laser printer you won't have to worry about that. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.